Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and today we are watching the Running Man official trailer for the 2025 movie featuring Edgar Wright and Glenn Powell. This is a reboot of the 1987 The Running Man movie featuring Arnold Schwarzenegger when he was the big action star that was doing all of the movies. Excited to see this. I haven't seen the original Running Man. I probably will end up watching it before this movie comes out so that way I can compare the difference between the two. But Arnold has some really big boots, that somebody has to fill, right? Fill behind him, both in a literal and figurative sense. And so I'm interested in seeing how they managed to fill those, right? And how they managed to bring some new life and some fresh blood into this Running Man franchise. Honestly speaking, I'll say this before we get into it. I'm a little tired of the Hollywood reboot scene. I really wish we would come up with some original IPs. There are some brilliant ideas out there that exist in the universe that don't exist in the past, right? Because we live in a new world with new themes, and I know history can be cyclical. I know that we love the things that we visited in the past, but I'm a little tired and I need some new and fresh stuff. But I'm excited to see. Hopefully, maybe they've changed this enough to where it's something that's different and it's new as compared to the original movie. But we'll see. I know some people get caught up in the nostalgia train, though, in which they see something that they have seen in the past, right? Or they see a new version of what they see in the past and like very much want it to be the same thing, just a redux. I'm not that person. I'm very much like, if you're going to create it, if you're going to make a reboot it. Reboot it. Do something completely different. And so hopefully they do that in this movie. But for right now, we're sitting with the trailer. Let's just go ahead and get into it.
I've been thinking about the show. For the next 30 days, everyone in the country is trying to murder me. And it's crazy, right?
Incredible. If that's the premise, wild premise. I also think I made this comment earlier on a previous review, the Frankenstein review. If you haven't seen that, you should go back and watch. During my Frankenstein review, about how it seems like horror movies in general, and maybe this is movies across the board, not just horror movies, but horror movies in general, they find some sort of social element to tap into, something that really speaks to the time and really tap into that. So a lot of the movies that we see end up speaking to the collective, American mind, right? And like speaking to, sort of the recent thoughts that Americans are having, or what they're most afraid of right now. That's what makes a horror movie work. We find the things that people are really afraid of right now, and we speak to that. And so this movie feels like it exists. It's like existing with that mindset or that frame of mind, and maybe that's why they chose to revisit the IP, because it did something similar to what they were trying to do right here, in which we're seeing a lot of media that really especially reality shows that kind of exist in this fantastical but also extremely ridiculous world where people are putting their bodies on the line. They're subjecting themselves to very weird, cruel, and unusual circumstances. Like you think about the Netflix version of Squid Game. There was that. There was another show on Netflix that was like the Don't Flinch almost. Like a Don't Flinch series that was also kind of weird and gruesome. That came out pre-pandemic. So maybe this is kind of speaking to that, of this social issue of no, it's weird that we're watching stuff like this. It's weird that this is what people are into. It's also it's damning on American society that people feel like they have to go on game shows and reality shows like this and subject themselves to that in order to get fame or money or anything like that, right? Like celebrity and money is they feel like they need to do that in order to get somewhere. And that's sad. How incredibly sad that we live in a world that's so dominated by capitalism that people feel the need to subject themselves to cruel and unusual punishment voluntarily in order to make enough money to get to the next day, or to make enough money so that way they can live happily and their family can live happily and comfortably. Wouldn't it be better if we lived in a world that was separate of that? I don't know, but maybe that's what this. I mean, yes, I think so, but maybe that's what this movie is speaking to, right? At least that's what that premise speaks to, and I could be completely wrong about that. I could be completely off base, but I wouldn't be surprised if the premise of this movie was so attractive, or the premise of the old movie was so attractive to the new producers, who felt like they wanted to speak to that particular set of circumstances, that they decided to reboot it and make this movie now. If that's the case, great, brilliant, I love that. If that's not the case, maybe I'm a little bit too cerebral for these folks, but I don't know.
People on these games never come back.
We have no choice. We need money for a doctor now.
What did I say? What did I say? What did I say? I said it. This could only happen in the United States, by the way. This could only happen in America. This really only speaks to like American politics. Because everywhere else, not everywhere else, but significant number of places abroad have universal health care. You can walk into a hospital for free. You can take an ambulance ride for free. You know who doesn't have that? Us. The US, us. You know who doesn't have that? We don't. Can't do that. Listen, we need money for it. Doctors are expensive. Having a baby is expensive. No. Yeah, I called it.
Welcome to the Running Man.
Also, Coleman Domingo. If you haven't seen Sing Sing, please go watch Sing Sing. Phenomenal movie. Great movie. Probably the second best movie I've seen this year behind Sinners. Please go watch Sing Sing. Coleman Domingo deserves everything. Deserves everything. Excited to see him in this. I know he's going to kill this role because he kills every role he's in. Listen, he was a voice on that one the Warriors Hamilton concept, or excuse me, the Warriors Lin-Manuel Miranda concept album, and he did a phenomenal job on that too. The guy deserves it all. I deserve it all. The Chris Patrick, I deserve it all. The Kendrick, I deserve it all. Coleman Domingo deserves it all. He deserves it all. All right. Off my soapbox for now.
Contestants will be hunted for 30 days. Anyone can kill you.
You see this juxtaposition, right? And so we're getting in here too, of like this family.
Anyone can kill you.
This family, this like, yeah, this new-aged family that's sitting down. Dad's got his beer. Little kids are sitting there chewing, eating popcorn. Twins, just really enjoying this. Like, oh my gosh. Hunt him down! Like that type of animosity that just like really feeds into the fervor that people have for stuff like this blood sport, right? Oh man, yeah. This is speaking directly like post Squid Games. I think like the producers saw Squid Games, or the director or the writer and director saw Squid Game, and they were like, hey, I got something to say about this. Let's pull up this old, like, you remember that one movie, like The Running Man, and how this kind of spoke to that? How about we reboot that and like specifically speak to what's happening right now with like Squid Game and that other game for Netflix, and like game shows where people are just so interested in the hurt and the dismantling of other people and their safety. Like, let's just speak to that. That's what's going on here. Yeah.
Survive, and you will walk away with $1 billion.
And I think, oh my gosh, $1 billion. This is crazy. What? And then, it also speaks, my gosh, I really will, like, just let this play out. But, like, you think of, like, all the memes that exist right now, like, nowadays, where they're like, if you could press a button and kill one random person in the universe and you would get $1 billion, but you don't know who that person is, would you press the button? Like, you think, like questions like that, right? I think this is, like, it just speaks to it, like, where we are as a society right? That's just speaks to it like entirely, man. And then you think about the Hunger Games too, you know, that is born out of the Hunger Games and everything too. It feels very Hunger Games esque, and it's far enough removed to where I think it'll get a lot of interest because it relies on an old relies on an old IP, and you know, kind of exists in that same Hunger Games vein that was really popular at some point, man. Dog, what are we doing? What are we doing?
I always thought this was fake.
Oh, shit!
Right.
Feeling pretty real now.
I need weapons, and
I didn't realize the Running Man was a Stephen King novel. That's cool.
I need weapons, an ID, and a disguise. Holy shit,
Frank
is that
Gallagher?
C4?
That's not for sale. Don't you get it?
This game is rigged.
I got a grenade!
Back at you.
Everything okay, Mr. Springer?
Yeah.
Edgar Wright.
Everything okay, Mr. Springer?
Yeah.
Edgar Wright's a fantastic director. So I think this is going to be really good, highly stylized. So excited for that too. Yeah, no, I don't know what else to, so since I don't have a whole lot to say, I think I'm right in saying that it exists in this Hunger Games theme, right? Of like, no, there's this power that exists beyond the game, right? And the power that exists beyond the game is malevolent, and we need to do something about that. Like, the system isn't set up for people to win. I think it speaks to greater American society where we are right now, right? Where it's like the justice system, the healthcare system, the American system is not set up for normal people like us to win, right? It's not set up for people like us to win, and so we need to do something about it. And so, yeah, you can participate, yeah, you can play, yeah, you can be a part of it, but at the same time, if you participate, if you play, if you're a part of it, you're only perpetuating the system. We need to do something separate of the system. We need to do something outside of the system in order to make sure that we're collectively thriving. And I think that's what this is like. That's where we are right now as a country, and that's why this was so attractive, why we want to speak to this right now. Yeah, there's a lot of themes in here. Yeah.
Everything okay, Mr. Springer?
Yeah.
You know why they cheered for you down there?
Oh, it's Michael Cera. And it makes sense. We got Edgar Wright. Edgar Wright and Michael Cera, they work well together.
You know why they cheered for you down there?
Go, go!
If you can survive against those goons, so can they.
Yeah, collective action. Collective action. That's what this is. That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about collective action.
I'm just trying to get back to my family.
Oh, wait. He got himself a black wife and a mixed baby. I'm on his team. I believe in him now. I believe in him more. Support black women. I hope they find a doctor for her and that child. Those they need a doctor. Put your life on the line, Glenn Powell. Do what you need to do. No, this is I didn't even realize that. I saw two interracial relationships in here. You know, you got this one right now, and then you have the first one that I paused at where I was talking about them sitting down and enjoying this. Listen, shout out to them. I mean, this is, I don't think the new administration is going to like this very much. They're going to be like, miscegenation propaganda? What do you mean? Like, no, we're anti-Loving versus Virginia. That's, what? Why are we... I got some other thoughts. I'm going to keep them to myself. That's crazy.
Trying to get back to my family.
They're here.
like real life. Play the game, or the game plays you. I will say real quick, if there were, we're entering the age in which everybody's starting to recognize that stuntmen need more recognition because they do so much work and it's so dangerous for them to put their bodies on the line like this. This is going to be a very stunt heavy movie. And I really hope that they get the recognition that they deserve for doing this, for doing all this work in here. The stunts are what's going to make this movie. The plot is interesting enough. The performances are probably going to be good, especially Coleman Domingo. I think Glenn Powell, he's okay. I think he will probably do a decent job in this. They're trying to turn him into an action star. Cool. But I really hope that the stuntmen that are doing all of this work, that are doing Glenn's stunts, if Glenn isn't doing his own stunts, that are doing the stunt work of these police officers that he's going to be fighting against the whole movie, the other stunt crew that are going to be doing the stunts related to the people that he's fighting against in the game show, I really hope they get their recognition. They deserve Oscars. They deserve Emmys. They deserve all the awards that people get on a regular basis. There need to be more stunt recognition categories because that's legitimately what's going to make this movie. If all the stunts are bad, everybody's going to be like, that movie was trash. But if the stunts are phenomenal, I can remember all of the movies in which I saw within the past a couple years or a few years where the stunt work was amazing. I can remember those movies, right? And the things I remember about those movies are specifically the stunts. I think about the Spider-Man No Way Home, right? Spider-Man No Way Home was great for two reasons. One, you get the reunite of Andrew Garfield, of Tobey Maguire, and of Tom Holland. You get all of three of them together in one space. Phenomenal moment I remember. The other moment I remember in that movie is when Spider-Man and Green Goblin are fighting in a hallway, and Green Goblin picks up Spider-Man, slams him into the ceiling, and then body slams him through 4 floors. 4 floors of an apartment building. That insane moment, right? But only possible because of stunt people. If there hadn't been stunt people, because you can't tell me that Willem Dafoe is picking up Tom Holland and body slamming him through 4. No, it's the stunt folks, and they're doing that work, and they deserve that recognition. They deserve to be seen, and I really hope that they get the recognition they deserve in this movie. Anyway, I'll hop off my soapbox. We'll finish out this last 20 seconds.
I'll be honest with you. I can't just let you win this game.
What the fuck is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
Okay, yeah. So at November 14th, we're going to be in there. Edgar Wright definitely was leaning into it. He was like, listen, this is what happened in real life. Let's just lean into that a little bit. I'm excited for this. I was a little skeptical at the beginning of the movie, or the beginning of the trailer, because I did see that. Like I said, I'm tired of old IPs. Excuse me. Tired of old IPs. I need some new stuff. Let's do something new. Let's stop the reboot process. Let's stop rebooting. Let's do something new. There's no reason this couldn't have been a new movie, with the exception of it's got all of the buy-in from people with the Running Man, and maybe that's what they're leaning on. That's what Paramount is really leaning on here. Is we know that there's an established fan base for the Running Man. We know that there's people that are really nostalgic for that 80s era. We really want them back, the 80s action era, so we really want them back, and we really want them butts in seats, because movie theaters are dying left and right, and so we need more blockbusters. We're hesitant to take any sort of risk with a new movie, but no, there's no reason this couldn't have been a new IP. That could have been interesting. Granted, viewership is probably the one reason why folks feel hesitant right now. But all that aside, I was skeptical at the beginning. I think this is going to be really interesting. And shout out to Edgar Wright for bringing this to a new era, and for really speaking to where we are in America right now. Talking about the healthcare problem, and just the equity issues, right? Issues of equity, the system not working the way it should right now. This is definitely the post-first Trump administration movie. I wouldn't be surprised if that's when this got started writing. I'm gonna have to look that up a little bit later. I wouldn't be surprised if they started writing that around now, especially when you got the right now we're in the midst of a government shutdown at the time of recording. and you know, at the center of that issue is American healthcare. And so to have a movie that centers healthcare and is like, we have to go this far for healthcare. Yeah. This is good. I'm with it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think this is also going to be a good movie? Are you going to be butt in seat in theater to see it? What do you think? Let me know. Do you think Glenn Powell is going to be able to fill Arnold Schwarzenegger's shoes? Do you think Edgar Wright is going to lean into his bag and really do what he needs to do to make this movie stylized, but also like his style, but also different enough from the original, but also like pays enough homage to the original to exist within that same vein and to take its name? How do you feel? Let's talk about it in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe. Until next time, it's been Go Home Ryan. Later, Gators.